Okay, today's video is going to be about stretching, being present, and having some gratitude. And what's really great about this is you can pretty much do it all at the same time. Stretching in and of itself sometimes feel like, I don't know, when I was younger I always felt like it was a waste of time for me because didn't really have any structural issues or injuries, and it just felt like when I got to the gym I wanted to work out, get my workout in, get out as quick as I could. And as I got older, as my client population became older, I realized the benefits and the importance of stretching and why it is beneficial not only for our muscles but also for our mind, to reduce stress, and it gives us time to be in the present rather than just trying to rush through it. It's important to be grateful for stuff. Anyway, so the very first one that I'm going to talk about is actually, it's a yoga pose, and it's called Malasana. But really what it is, it's a deep squat, since we covered squats the other day. But this is a static squat. So basically what you're doing is you're going to take and turn your toes out about 45 degrees with your feet just a little wider than your hips. And you're going to slowly sink down. And the idea here is to get low, really low as you can get. Now in the Malasana pose, what they have you do is they have you put your hands together. And by doing that, you're taking your elbows and you're pushing them against your knees, so you're opening up your hips. So what's really beneficial about this, you know what, let me just fix this camera a second here because I'm not happy with that angle and you need to get the whole schlemiel. Anyway, again, we're going about shoulder width or slightly bigger on our feet, coming down into that squat, hands out in front of you. And you know, if you want to put your hands out this way for counterbalance, if you need something under your heels, the idea is you want to try to keep your feet as flat as possible. All right, and then by pushing your knees out, again, we are opening up our hips. Now, what's good about this is it increases hip flexibility and mobility. It engages our core, so our core is having to brace to keep our body upright. We're taking our knees and our ankles into good flexion, which a lot of people, as they get older, lose a lot of the flexion in their ankles. So externally or structurally, this is good for the spine, the core, the hips, the glutes, the knees, the quads. And ideally, you'd like to be able to hold this stretch for around 60 to 90 seconds. And it's just an isometric squat. You're just holding it. What I tend to do after a little while is I'll lean over to one side, put a little bit extra stretch on one side, come over to the other side, do the same thing, make sure I'm dropping my hips as low as they will go, and then just hold it. Now, internally, what's this really good for is, okay, when I was in the Air Force, I was in Japan for 4.5 years, and I noticed that we used to have a break in the morning and a break in the afternoon besides lunch, and I worked with 7 Japanese nationals. And at break time, you'd get 15 minutes to go grab some coffee, hang out, do whatever you're going to do. These guys would sit around in a circle in this position. Now, granted, they were either smoking cigarettes or drinking tea or whatever, but they could sit like this for 15 minutes. And really what this is doing is it's aligning your lower bowel or your colon, all right, and it's shortening the distance in that sigmoid colon. So this actually helps you to eliminate more completely. I know that might be a little bit too much information, but you know, it's good to be able to get rid of stuff that you don't need. So again, this is also good internally for us. I think that's long enough to hold this one for now. You get the message. All right, so from there, we can plop down and get into a nice spread here. We can reach out and grab our toes if we can. If we can't, we can reach down and grab our shins and work our way forward. And again, most of these stretches, you want to be able to hold for 30 to 60 seconds. So while I'm holding this, I'm going to go into the second part of this video, which was being present. A lot of times when people are working out, I notice it a lot now in the gym, people are on their phones, you know, they'll sit at a machine and they will be scrolling Instagram or checking their Facebook or looking at their emails. And number one, they're tying up a machine, but really what's more important is they're not really even being present for their workouts. They're like kind of going through the motions, and really for an effective workout, regardless of whether you're doing weights or stretching or doing yoga, is to be present and mindful about what you're doing, to have some kind of a connection between your brain and the body parts that you're using. The more you can focus on them, I think the deeper the connection gets, the more progress you will make. So let's come on over to one side here and take this a little deeper onto this side. And being present isn't just important when we are working out. I mean, it's good to be present, it's safe, but present in whatever you're doing. So much of the time we're so distracted by something that happened a half an hour ago or yesterday or last month, or we're worrying about something that might or might not happen later today, tomorrow, next week, next year, or whatever. And it robs us of being in the present and enjoying the moment. You know, so many times you see people that are just so caught up in what could be or what was that they're not enjoying what is. And that leads me to my third point. Let's come forward like this and really stretch those hamstrings a little bit. Is gratitude. Since so many people are worrying about the past or the future and what could be, a lot of times we are either anxious or upset or regretful or bitter, and we lose sight of the things that we should be thankful for. Like just being able to get into the gym, or whether you're working out at home, or you're going for a nice long hike, or you're out on the lake in your kayak or a rowboat or whatever. Enjoy that moment. That's your chance to connect with whatever it is, nature, your best friend that you're walking with, your children, your parents. You know, our life is so temporary, and the older you get, and I'm realizing it now, the older you get, the faster it seems that time goes by. And I don't want to have that regret saying, I could have done this and I could have done that. And then when you do it, be present enough to appreciate it and experience it and create that memory that will stay with you a lot longer than if you just went through the motions. And I know that sounds kind of preachy, but it's true, and we're all guilty of it. I mean, every single one of us has either ruminated over something in the past or worried about something that could or couldn't happen in the future. And sometimes it never even happens. You know, sometimes we create all this extra thought and worry and expend all that mental energy when it could be channeled into something a lot more productive or beneficial for our bodies or our minds or our spirits or whatever you want to, wherever you want to put that focus. And so I like to do it when I'm stretching because I never really enjoyed stretching before. To me, it was kind of a waste of time. And now it's a moment to reset. And when I do dwell on things that I'm grateful for, I'm able to hold my stretches longer. They don't feel as uncomfortable. You know, the longer you sit in a stretch, the more that muscle loosens up and lengthens, and a lengthened muscle sucks in more blood, and a lengthened muscle is much more supple than one that's starved of oxygen and blood. So yeah, that's my take on that. And then, okay, let's throw in one more yogic combo here. Hopefully this will all make it onto the camera. So at the very end, we'll do this downward dog. Is that on the camera? Are we getting the whole thing? It looks like it. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm trying to plant my feet flat on the floor, heels down, legs are straight, Try not to bend my knees. Try to extend my arms all the way and drop my head. So I'm really feeling this in my calves, in my hamstrings, in my glutes. I can feel my shoulders. And then from here, I'm just going to walk my hands forward just a little bit and come down and go the opposite way. And I'm going to try to elongate my spine, raise my head, turn my head to the left. Am I still on camera? Yeah, still there. Turn my head to the right. Oh, I can even feel my back opening up. Then I'm going to come up one more time, come right back into that downward dog pose, getting a really good stretch. Heels down, push those heels down into the ground. And one more time, let's walk it forward. And I think they call this the cobra pose. I don't know. I don't think I look like a cobra. I think I look more like a garden snake. And then after a nice, short, but good stretching session, you can always just come back. Get your hands out in front of you, sit back on your heels. Let that upper body stretch out. And just be thankful that we still have the time and the ability to do these things. It sure beats the alternative. All right, well, anyway, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully, it gives you a little bit of food for thought. Yeah, just, be there, be present. Nothing's guaranteed anymore. So enjoy every moment. Tell somebody you love them. Tell somebody how important they are to you. Peace. Talk to you later. Bye.